What's up, YouTubers, boys and girls? Red Crimson 102 here. If you're new to my channel, like and subscribe. Today, I got for you the Zen Pro wireless controller from Gulikit. The Gulikit controllers have been making a lot of big noise lately because of the Hall magnetic sticks, aka no drift. I've seen a lot of people on YouTube reviewing this controller and giving it praise because it has no drift. And I got this at Target. I was trying to figure out what is a Zen Pro controller because I'm aware of the King Kong and the King Kong Pro 2 controller by Gulikit. And for those that are curious, because I couldn't find any information on what the Zen Pro controller is. Some people were wondering actually I was wondering if it was the King Kong Pro 3 controller. But actually what it is, guys, the Zen Pro is basically the King Kong Pro 2 controller, just a retail version of that. So basically it's a retail version of the King Kong Pro 2 controller. That's all it is. And you can look it up on the Gulikit site. And the Zen Pro is only available at Target that I know of. So like I said, the Gulikit controllers are popular because of the no stick drift analogs, right? So I picked it up and it was $60, which is a good deal. And here's a box. Here's what it looks like. I took the controller out. Electromagnetic sticks, highly accurate, anti-stick drift. And see, that's the big selling value of this controller. And we're going to take a good look at it. The controller feels really good. The face buttons, what I do like about it, it has like a flat, flush feel. So when you put your thumb on the button, it just sinks into the button, which I do like. And you can tell this controller is modeled after the Xbox One controller, which I think the Xbox controller as a whole is the best controller ever invented. They have nice grips on here. I really do love how the controller looks. And it looks like the Xbox Elite 2 series controller. It's clearly they got inspiration from the Xbox controller. You got the plus and minus buttons, of course. Now, check this out, guys. So I don't even know where to start with this controller. Okay, I'll start with the instructions. Actually, you know what, guys? Simply put, this controller is overrated. I think the Gulikit controller is overrated. And I've seen YouTubers praising the controller like they're getting sponsored or paid to say good things about it. But out of the box, when I got this controller, the sticks were off. It's almost like it had drift out of the box. So basically it's advertising the opposite of what its intention is, which is giving you a controller with no stick drift whatsoever. And the electromagnetic Hall sticks that they're using this controller is not new technology. They have been using it since the Dreamcast, and I see why they stopped using it after the Dreamcast. As far as like console manufacturers like Nintendo and Sony and others, I see why after the Dreamcast console why they had stopped using the Hall sensor sticks. Because look, guys, first of all, I don't even like how it feels. It just feels so loose. You see how loose it is? It just has a weird, to me, it has like a too much of a loose feel. And as I said, right out of the box, it had drift. Like it wasn't aligned right. And I'll show you what I mean. And while I'm at it, guys, while I'm at it, this controller has some serious lag and latency issues. Yes, you can go on the Gulikit website, and there's a firmware you can download to update your controller, which was weird as well. The instructions wasn't clear. And look at this diagram. This is the instruction that comes with the packaging, right? As you can see, it only demonstrates what the top buttons are, but it doesn't. There is no diagram stating what the face buttons are, which is weird, because if you go on the website to update the controller firmware, it says hold the APG button and press the A button, right? The diagram doesn't show you what the face buttons are and what the APG button is. Like, I'm looking at it, okay, the APG button could be this button right here, it could be this button, it could be that button, I don't know. It's weird because in the instructions it doesn't even state what these buttons are, these two buttons in the middle. I mean, I can use common sense and say, okay, this is the the settings button, obviously, and this is whatever the menu button. But the fact of the matter is, that's not demonstrated in the instructions that came with the packaging. And also, there's another piece of paper that's in the box. That's a piece of instruction that tells you about a developer site that you can go to, and you can test the sticks and how good the sticks are. But I will admit, once I finally did, and I also had to go on YouTube to search for a video because of the Gulikit didn't properly give you good instructions on how to update the firmware on your controller. I found a video on YouTube thanks to the guy that has that video up. He actually went step by step and showed you how to download the firmware to your controller and update your controller. And another thing I found out, which the instructions within the Gulikit controller package didn't tell you, you don't have to hold the APG button and just press A. You can also, this is the button you hold pretty much. This is I call it the menu button. You hold the menu button and you can press either Y, X, A, or B to bring up the controller U disk on your computer once you go to the Gulikit website to download the firmware, and you just copy the firmware and paste it in the controller U disk window when you bring it up with the menu button and whatever face buttons you press. So when I finally updated the controller, which was quick and easy after that demonstration video I came across on YouTube, the lag latency was a lot better, and I was able to calibrate my controller to make it work a little better. Not perfect, but just a little bit better. But I was really disappointed, and I thought it was a defect with the controller, and I ended up buying two, actually, as you can see. So I ended up buying two just to see if one was defective or not, but they both had the same issues out of the box. Bad lag and latency, and the analog sticks were not calibrated correctly. It was way off. I tried playing Zelda with it. Oh man, it was such a bad experience. I could feel the lag and the latency issues, and when I was pressing up to go walk up, he'll walk diagonally. So out of the box, this controller had drift, and Gulikit is advertising this controller does not have drift. At the end of the day, guys, I wouldn't even recommend this controller to nobody. This controller is not even better than the Pro controller. There are other better controllers out there that's way better than this controller. It's very, very overrated. All Gulikit controllers are overrated. The Hall magnetic sticks are overrated. They're advertising no drift, but I guess they swap out no drift for bad calibration analog sticks out of the box. Basically, to me, that's still drift. But let me go ahead and demonstrate. The positive thing about this controller too, guys, I would definitely admit, and you double tap the mode button to turn it on, the controller. The positives I can say about this controller, it has all the features of a Nintendo Switch Pro controller. You have NFC reader on here for your amiibos. You have rumble. You can adjust the rumble sensitivity. What else does it have? Pretty much has all the features, guys, of a Switch Pro controller. You can wake it up. You can wake up your Switch with this controller, which is dope. You have gyroscope, and the gyroscope is bad on this controller. Like, it works when it wants to. Like, in the midst of me, for example, like Zelda, you can use gyroscope aiming with your crossbow, and it'll just stop all of a sudden. You can also you have a no you have a oh, guys, forgive me. You have a no dead zone mode for the analog sticks, where it eliminates the dead zones. You hold the settings button, and I believe you press this button right here, and you can switch between two modes: regular analog mode and the no dead zone mode. I don't know. They both are crappy to me, but anyway, as you can see, it's connected to my Switch. Now, let's go into the calibration mode into the Nintendo Switch. And the thing is, guys, like, out of the box, like I said, the controller had bad calibration. It was all over the place. But with the update, I made it. I was able to fix it somewhat, not 100%. It still had, drift. Okay, let's see what it does today. See, it's ridiculous, guys. And this is after the firmware update, and before the firmware update, it was bad. Like, if I hit up, see how it goes to the side. Okay, I'm going down. Look at that, it's off. Left and right is not bad. See, but after the update, I managed to fix it a little bit better. But before the update, if I press up, it'll go like this. If I press down, it'll go right here. Then I tried playing Street Fighter, and to test if you have a really good controller, fighting games are the best type of games to actually test your games on. I mean, excuse me, guys. Fighting games are the best games to test if you have a really good controller. And I played Street Fighter with it, man. The lag was so crazy, man. Like, the button presses, like, on your on-screen character would realize the move like seconds later. So I was getting pummeled in Street Fighter. It seemed like I wasn't even punching or kicking at all. It seemed like I wasn't fighting back because of the lag of this controller. If I'm pressing Y, X to punch, kick, like, it doesn't come out till seconds later. Sometimes it doesn't come out at all because I'm getting pummeled. You can definitely feel a lag with this controller, but it did get better with the update, the firmware update. Also, too, speak on the D-pad. The D-pad is kind of crap on here too. Like, it also has lag. Like, I could not pull off my Shoryukens, and when I press down, if you see, the whole D-pad moves when you press any direction. And that's an issue I have with this controller too as well. So if you're playing a fighting game and I'm trying to press forward, down, forward to do a dragon punch, he might jump instead, jump forward. So forward will make your character jump forward. It's just crazy, man. Like, the D-pad sucks on here. The analog Hall magnetic sticks, overrated. It's not accurate, as you can see. See how I press down, it goes diagonally down. When I press up, it goes diagonally right. But from left to right isn't bad, but see, it goes all over the place. Left. See, when slightly, see that? Up. See, it goes slightly up, slightly down. It sucks, man. And we're going to try and calibrate it right here on camera. Not bad. Okay, so let's go back to it. Left, right, up. See, still. It's just I'm having a problem with up. It's just, you see what I'm saying, guys? So that's just what I want to demonstrate. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you guys, don't put too much stock into the magnetic Hall sticks because everybody's like running out buying the Zen Pro controllers and the Gulikit controllers, and also Gulikit sells the analog sticks separately where you can like replace it with your console or excuse me, replace it with your controller, original analog sticks. And I don't know. I mean, to me personally, I think that's a bad idea because as you can see, I demonstrated for you guys on camera how bad the calibration is with this controller, and I try to calibrate it with the Nintendo Switch's calibration mode, and I was still having issues. And even on the computer, I was still having issues because Gulikit, like I said earlier in the video, has a secondary instruction sheet where it tells you to go to the controller developers page where you can test the calibration of the controller. It was also bad on there as well. So this controller is very overrated. I mean, I love the design on there. I like how the face buttons feel, but it even had a weird response when I was playing the Street Fighter, the fighting games. It's just weird, man. The controller just looks good to me, but it's not really a good controller. The features on there is cool. As you can see, you can adjust the sensitivity on the shoulder buttons. It has a joystick, no dead zone mode, PC, assist aiming, joystick sensitivity. Yeah, and you can do that on the controller. You don't even need a software, which is cool. You can do all these adjustments from the controller itself with no additional software needed. Now that was dope, but these Hall sticks are overrated. And the Dreamcast was the last platform to actually use them in their controllers. Now everybody's wondering about drift with their regular controllers, but guys, everything has wear and tear. I I honestly think that the way how they're making controllers now, or even after the Dreamcast up until now, 2023, the non-magnetic Hall sticks, I think those are better than the magnetic Hall sticks. If you take care of your controller, guys, your controller will take care of you. If you're not rough with your controller, you're not blowing smoke on there, just leaving it out with so dust could fall on your controller or fall into your controller crevices with the analog sticks. You're not dropping it all the time. You're not manhandling your controller, and and you don't use it as much. Your controller won't develop drift. Listen, man, I have all my consoles. I still have the launch controls that launch for the system, and they're still in great condition, no drift. They all work. You just have to take care of your controllers, guys, and you will not develop drift. That's all it is. But at the end of the day, if you have any controller, any one controller, and that's your primary controller, of course, it's gonna get wear and tear. It's gonna break down. That's just life. Everything breaks down, and you can't really stop that. That's just life. That's just life, guys. So what do I got in here? Oh wow, I don't have to sell that here. Let's try a game while I'm here talking to you guys. But my whole point is, guys, do not get excited for those Gulikit controllers, and I keep it real on my channel, guys. I'm not like anybody else. I'm not being sponsored to say good things like a lot of people. I keep it real. So, if you're one of those people who like to hear people lie to you and you want to go off reviews and run out and buy the controller, and then This is not the channel you need to be on. I keep it real on this channel. But surprisingly though, the controller works good for this game. I really haven't had any issues with this particular fighting game with the Gulikit controller. It works pretty decent. But the D-pad, and usually D-pads are used for fighting games, but the D-pad is not good on the Gulikit controller. I have more luck with the analog stick. Oh, what do you know? I won. Man, when I first got this controller before the update, I was getting hammered in Street Fighter because the calibration on the sticks was so bad. See what I got lucky with that one. Yeah, but see, right before I did that finisher move, I had pressed forward and jump, and it just jumped, but it didn't go forward. And see, that's what I'm talking about, guys. Another thing. And check this out, guys. One thing I do love about this controller, it wakes the switch up. Now, that's dope. But, the pros of this controller, like I said, I love the design on there. I love how the analogs feel. I love how the face buttons feel. I like, the shoulder buttons are cool. I love the design on there. I love the rubber grip design on there. I love how it wakes up the switch. The features are definitely awesome on this controller for $60, but those magnetic sticks, man, they're not perfect. And like I said, guys, I see why after the Dreamcast they didn't use it anymore. I still think the traditional joysticks they use now, the non-Hall magnetic sticks, are still the way to go. Just take care of your controllers and it'll take care of you on developing the drift. Most people who develop drift, they just throw their controllers down, they mistreat it, they blow smoke, and they do all type of stuff to it and drop it down. Let their dog play with it, and then they expect it to work, and then they're surprised when they get drift. Just take care of your controller, guys. None of my controllers have drift. Now, when the Nintendo Switch first came out, the first model, it was just something about that model Switch and the Joy-Cons at the time. I think it was both the system and the Joy-Cons at the time. I did develop drift. All my controllers drifted with the Switch. But when they came out with a version 2 model Switch, the red box version, I never got drift after that. Never. Never. So it's either Nintendo fixed the drift problem on the low without telling anybody, or you know what? I guess they did. What can I say? But yeah, that's all I have to say about this controller, guys. I think this controller is overrated. The Gulikit controller series as a whole are overrated. Those Hall sticks, magnetic sticks, are overrated, and the traditional controller is just better to me, because the traditional controllers, they don't have drift out of the box. They work perfectly fine as long as you take care of them. But the bottom line is, I think the magnetic Hall sticks are overrated. It's not what it's all cracked up to be. I want to be the first to keep it real. Like and subscribe.